Hello, Chevre, how are you? I hope everyone is gesund, stark, und freilich, begashmis und beruchnis. Healthy, strong, and happy physically and spiritually. Hashem should help that all those that need a refuah shlema should be healed immediately, and that the magefa should stop now. As usual, we'll begin with a pasuk for the Rebbe's new kapitel, and then we'll address today's theme. Pasuk Nun Zayin in Kapitel Kufyutes. Chelki Adonai Amarti Lishmer Dvarecha. Hashem is my portion, I said, to keep your words. So simple meaning is, David HaMelech says, I chose Hashem as my portion. In other words, that is what is precious to me in life, and therefore I keep your words. But maybe we could say that David HaMelech is talking over here about one's personal, individualistic journey and path in his service of Hashem. Chelki Hashem Amarti. He proclaims that he has a chelki, his portion. Now, this addresses a very, very huge question that people have. I would say it's one of the most common questions that people have about Judaism and religion. The famous question of the individual versus the community. If I just surrender to Hashem, what happens to me? And what's my personal role? And what's my personal mission? So this is a question that bothers many, many people, and they find it very difficult, this concept of conforming, is in the sense that they see it as a threat to their individuality. So over here, continuing on the message that we spoke yesterday from the fact that the Torah was given in the desert. So yesterday we explained it one way, that it was given in the desert, which is no man's land. Why? Because the Torah belongs to everyone equally. Ma'irasha kilas Yaakov. As we spoke yesterday, the tailor, the shoemaker, equally took with the scholar and the Rosh Yeshiva, etc. But you know what? This lesson that the Torah was given in the desert could be taken in a completely different direction. Not only, as we spoke yesterday, because there's the divinity and infinity and holiness in Torah, which in relation to that everyone is equal, but also in relation to the intellect of Torah. No one can claim the intellectual rights of ownership to say his understanding is the only way. And more than that, every single person, the Torah was given in a place which is free for all, which is a no man's land, to teach us that every single person has to make a contribution to be mechadish in Torah, to add, to give, and to come up with something novel in the Torah that he's learning. So this is tremendous. How you see in general that we take a lesson of the Torah being given in the desert. Yesterday we explained it one way, that it means that everyone becomes equal in the sense that the scholar and the ignoramus both, when we talk in terms of relationship, are both completely, intimately united with Hashem on the highest level, because it has nothing to do with intellect. On the other hand, we have a lesson that because the intellect of God is infinite, no matter what is uncovered of the intellect of God, which God gave to us, there's always more and more, and that every single person has to discover certain sparks of wisdom in the Torah that is meant to be discovered only by him and him alone, including the wagon driver, the tailor, and the shoemaker. He has to make a discovery in Torah that the Rosh Yeshiva cannot make. And this is also the meaning of what we say every day in davening, 3 times a day. V'sein chelkeinu b'seirasecha. We ask Hashem to find our individualistic, particular connection to the sections and portions of the Torah that are meant for me to uncover and discover. Unbelievable. So this brings us to another idea, that besides for the individualistic contribution of every single person in Torah and Avalei. There's also the concept of toil in Torah. And everyone can reach that level. Yogaita umotzasa. If you toil, you will find. In modern language today, in modern medicine, there's a concept that has been spoken about in the last couple of years of neuroplasticity. Plasticity of the brain. That if a person toils, he can reach new depths of intellect and profundity that he couldn't even imagine that he had. And there's a famous story of a certain chassid. And his name was Reb Yekusiel Liepler. This is the illustration that in the history of Chabad, we speak about this famous chassid. His name was Reb Yekusiel Liepler. He was in the times of the Alter Rebbe, the first Lubavitcher Rebbe, and the second Lubavitcher Rebbe, the Mitteler Rebbe, and the Tzemach Tzedek. So it came to a point in his life where he really, really desired to be able to understand the most profound, deepest secrets that regularly are only understood by the deepest thinkers and mystics. So he went to the Mitteler Rebbe and he asked the Mitteler Rebbe and he cried to him, how come he can't understand on a deep level these concepts? So the Mitteler Rebbe told him, Ein davar oimid b'fnei haratzain. Nothing stands in the way of will. If you'll toil hard enough, you'll reach the highest levels of understanding and profundity. And what happened was that he toiled for 4 months. He trained himself to concentrate on a subject for many, many hours. And he worked on himself to review things again and again. And he became, through this work, one of the deepest minds in the history of Chabad Hasidim. The Rebbe Marash, the fourth Lubavitcher Rebbe, said about him that here we see how a bull eats. A bull eats is a clod, like a piece of wood. How a bull eats could reach the highest levels of genius and understanding when it comes to Torah, if he will only work hard enough. Ein davar oimid b'fnei ratzon. Nothing stands in the way of willpower. They say a line in the world, genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. So, my blessing to all of us, including myself, is that we should all have some good sweating and toil, and thereby we'll definitely see results and make a contribution that no one else is meant and could ever make, because it's your chelki, it's your chelkeinu b'seiresecha that no one else can do. And the Rebbe in the later years talked about this often, and he demanded and he made a call for all students to write their ideas, their questions, their answers in whatever they're learning. And this is also a preparation. If we will bring out chidushay Torah, new Torah, the Rebbe said that this will be a preparation for the Torah Chadosha, Me'iti Teitzei. This will be the preparation to the revelation of the new Torah that Mashiach will reveal, and we will hear when Mashiach comes. Take Yefumiyad Mamish. Posting from my home, Be'ez Hashem Yisborech, your man in Melbourne.